failing to signal a lane change,
wearing a hoodie.
Welkom bij de eerste aflevering van de Stem van de Straat Special Cases. Normaal gesproken zou Franklin hier zitten, omdat het toch meer een onderwerp is waar hij verstand van heeft. Maar hij was helaas verhinderd vandaag, dus ik val voor hem in. Eerst wilde ik toch even voor onze kijkers een mededeling van orde doen. En dat gaat over onze eerste uitzending van de Stem van de Straat, zeg maar de satirische aflevering. De eerste aflevering heeft behoorlijk wat rumoer teweeggebracht. We hebben, dat mag ook gezegd worden, van de zeg maar professionele mediabureaus behoorlijk wat complimenten gehad. Die hebben ons laten weten dat ze denken dat het programma in beginsel heel veel potentie kan hebben. Maar we hebben ook heel veel kritiek gehad, met name van de complotdenkers. En natuurlijk de mensen die het slachtoffer zijn van het systeem. Dat is een hele toestand is inmiddels ontstaan over wie wel goed aan het woord geweest is, wie niet goed aan het woord geweest is. Nou ja, het bekende getok onder de complotdenkers, en dat is jammer, want ze zouden hun energie moeten richten op de heersende klasse en niet op elkaar. Maar goed, ook wil ik hier even tot slot opgemerkt hebben dat dit natuurlijk geen programma is wat volledig gescript is met gescrimpte gasten. Zoals bij het RTL Boulevard Riool, maar waar het allemaal perfect op rolletjes loopt en iedereen er glimmend en gepoetst uitziet, maar wel ondertussen, en dat schijnen de mensen dan perfect te vinden, hun vreselijke hersenverpulveraar rioolsensatie kots over de Nederlandse massa heen storten, om de mensen gewoon oer en oerdom te houden. Maar goed, we gaan nu beginnen met onze uitzending. Dit moet ik in Engels doen, want onze gasten zijn over uit de USA. En we zijn heel erg trots dat wij ze hier vandaag in de studio hebben. Welcome in our program. As you know, it's called the Voice of the Street Special Cases. We have for this program two subjects today. That's Donald Trump. What will be the effect of Donald Trump for the USA, but also for Europe, the Netherlands and Amsterdam if he will become the president. The second subject we want to discuss with you as people from a minority group from the USA is the killing of the young guys from the ghetto, which in my opinion is almost an epidemic, and the police who hardly get punished for that. How is that for you? And the third subject we want to discuss today with you is what we from Europe consider a little bit crazy, that now in Texas there is a new law that students can go with a sealed weapon or a not sealed weapon into the college. First of all, welcome again. I'd like you to introduce yourself to our viewers, who you are as African American woman, if I say it correct.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for having me on your show. My name is Anna Wertenbroch. And I live in Dallas, Texas. I've actually lived in many places around the world, traveled with lots of people. For instance, I traveled with Bob Marley. But what is really concerning me...
Excuse me that I interrupt you, but maybe because Bob Marley is an icon in Amsterdam. Also even by the young people. He's almost a symbol of the past 70s, 80s and from freedom and equality. It would be really nice if you can tell us a little bit of your personal experience with Bob Marley.
Well, I was 17 years old and they had a local pub, and I actually went there to listen to him play one night.
So you saw him really in a pub playing?
In a pub
oh
play.
My God.
The audience were maybe 75 people. And so I saw him play and I love to dance, so I was dancing and he sent one of his band members to speak to me. And so they started talking with me, saying, "Hey, Bob would like to see you." And I was like, "Okay." So
was he already really famous at that time, or just?
He was famous. This is when Exodus was out.
Oh,
he had written Exodus, And so he said, well, would you like to travel with us? I said, well, I'm not a groupie. And he said, interesting. I said, but I do cook really well. And so he said, really? I said, yes, I cook vegetables really well. He said, so why don't you be my chef? So I traveled with him and cooked with him.
No.
Yes.
How long you traveled with him?
I traveled with him for 6 months, and I traveled with Dennis Brown for a year, Peter Tosh.
Peter Tosh, I know, he was great.
He was
too.
great.
He was
a
great.
bit different. Bob Marley, the Wailers.
Yeah, I know them. It's my time.
Also, I don't know if you heard of this guy, Dean Fraser. He's a sax player. He's really, really good.
No.
Yeah, but most of the top reggae stars I know Ziggy. I know his younger son, Damien. So he was really like a prophet. Being in the bus with him was like going through, actually, a Bible class.
I do believe you. I really like his song Stand Up.
Stand Up, yeah.
It's like, for the people.
And if you listen to his lyrics, all of his lyrics had a message. He had a message to say. Although he stopped the violence that was going on in Jamaica.
He was a big fan of the ganja too, eh?
Yeah, well, he smoked a lot of ganja.
Yes.
He really smoked a lot of ganja. But his passion was more or less freedom of equality for people,
and
for
spirit.
the poor people, freedom for the black people.
Yeah, we know,
yes.
but you must have had a wonderful time with him.
It was the best experience of my life. Actually, it opened my eyes up to a lot of different cultures, a lot of different things, and it shaped me into going into the form that I wanted to go into.
Thank you. Can you tell some more about your life?
Well, originally from Dallas, Texas. I'm half Jamaican and half American. I grew up in a very small house with 4 brothers and my mother and father. It was in a ghetto, I would say. We did not have enough money to feed or eat, but we struggled to get by. It was a very hard life as a child. And so I had a dream as a child to do something with my life. And I never allowed that dream to die. So I started working at age 13, continued to work, and then I went to school part-time. And then I went on, and there was a tragedy in our family. My oldest brother got killed by a gun. He got shot in the back. And that completely changed my life. After that, it actually tore everything inside of me out. So I made sure that I would do everything I could to be successful, to get away from that environment. I went to University of Chicago. I also attended University of Iowa. My background was psychology. I got my master's at INSEAD Business School in France in organizational behavior and clinical. I left there, and my calling and my passion, I must say, is helping people to understand that they can do more or better with their lives. Young kids today, they live off the internet. And actually, I wrote a book And my book is called The Dinosaur Without the Head. In the academic environment, the academics are not, there's no recourse for their behavior. They can do anything in the world and never be reprimanded for it. And this is really sad. And to go on with my story about my life, I have a son who is 20 now, and he was in France and he got attacked by 6 boys. He got cut in his neck really, really badly. And that was shocking because I thought I had at least got him out of America, where young black men are dying and they're killing them like they're fleas. There's no recourse of what they're doing or how they're doing it. They're just killing them. And so I decided to write All Lives Matter, not just black lives. Because when you lose someone in your family, if you're not strong, you lose hope. And losing hope is giving up. And the one thing we can't do as black Americans is to give up. We have to stick together. We have to understand that if we help each other and educate the kids, then it will get better. But the society is so polarized right now that it wants the black kids to kill each other.
Okay, thank you for this introduction of yourself for our viewers. Can maybe you tell a little bit who you are and where you're from and where you're going maybe?
Hello, my name is Kulwant Atwal. I'm originally from India and I was born before 1947.
बताएं पाकिस्तान बनाने में खुश नसीब लोग कौन थे? वो 50 लाख शोहदा जो पाकिस्तान पहुंच नहीं सके, वो खुश नसीब। आपके लाहौर रेलवे स्टेशन पे जो पुराने कुली हैं यहाँ, जो नस्लों से यहाँ यही काम कर रहे हैं, अगर उनसे पूछे तो सही कि लाहौर रेलवे स्टेशन पे इनकी जिम्मेदारी क्या है? दिल्ली से एक ट्रेन चलती थी और ईस्ट पंजाब में पूरी की पूरी काट दी जाती थी और लाहौर से पाशे पाशे वो दीवाने, वो जुनूनी, वो पागल, वो फिर बैठते थे ट्रेन में दिल्ली से और फिर जाते थे, फिर काटे जाते थे और फिर लाशें उतारती थी और फिर तीसरी ट्रेन में बैठते थे और चौथी और पांचवी और सिर्फ यहाँ उनकी लाशें उतारी जा रही। वो खुशनसीब। इसलिए उन्होंने ये नहीं पूछा इस पाकिस्तान से कि इस पाकिस्तान ने हमको क्या देना है और क्या दिया है। उनको ये बात समझ में आ गई थी, ये बात उनको समझा दी गई थी कि इस वक्त जिसने पाकिस्तान से खयानत की, जिसने इस वक्त पाकिस्तान का साथ न दिया, दुनिया और आखिरत में तबाह बर्बाद कर दिया। उनको ये बात बता दी गई थी कि आने वाले दौर में जो खुशनसीब तरीन कौम होगी वो इस खित्ते जमीन में बसेगी। उनको ये बात बता दी गई थी कि आने वाले दौर में जो तकदीरें लिखी जाएंगी वो इस कौम की मर्जी से लिखी जाएंगी। उनको ये बात बता दी गई थी जिस कौम को सदाकत, शुजाअत और अदालत का सबक पढ़ाया जाएगा, जिससे दिया जाएगा काम अब दुनिया की इमामत का, वो इस खित्ते में पैदा हो चुके हैं।
And I have, as a kid, I have seen a lot of violence in my childhood, and which I cannot forget in my entire life.
You've been in India, eh?
Yeah, I was
by the independence.
Yeah, 1947.
Between the Islam and the Hindus.
Yes, and there was a lot of people murdered, and a lot of damage was done to the society and the people, and that still stick in my mind.
You still have traumas of that?
Yeah.
1 second, I remember I read about it. At least 2 million people get, or more, official,
There's
in a week or so.
No certain number. No certain number.
Yeah, no.
And there are different
massacre,
numbers.
eh?
Yeah, massacre from both sides.
I know.
And it's unforgettable. And we had to be displaced from part of Pakistan to India.
Oh, you weren't up north? You had to go down? Or
Yeah, I was in Pakistan, born in Pakistan.
Okay, you had to come down.
And then we had to go to Punjab.
Goedemorgen.
Good morning, sir.
Het plaatsje waar ik de naam niet eens meer uit kan spreken. Een hotel waar ze geen Engels spreken. Je moet er wat voor over hebben om de corruptie te bestrijden. Vandaag is er een grote happening van een man die gestorven is, die zich eindeloos heeft ingezet in de strijd tegen corruptie. In India is het enige land waar ze mijn strijd tegen de mediamafia erkennen. Ik ben dus ook vandaag uitgenodigd als eregast voor deze happening. Hij heeft helaas een loodje gelegd in de strijd. We herdenken hem, want hij is al een jaar dood. Kom, we gaan op pad. Het is inmiddels 45 graden trouwens.
Which is part of India at that time, after partition.
Yes.
So we had to travel in the train, and it took us 18 days to go from Sahiwal to Lahore.
I've been in Lahore.
Yeah, you've been in Lahore,
Yeah,
okay.
Pakistan.
And I was just a kid, and we had no food, nothing, and people were sitting in the trains and up there.
And very hostile country you came
Very
to.
hostile country, and the train which left before us was totally murdered.
Yeah.
And we missed it by only 5 minutes.
By sheer luck.
Yeah, so we are here. And now that made us to start from the very bottom of, we were in the camp for 18 days. And after that we had no food, nothing. So my parents has to go on a farm to start their new life.
And now you live in the United States?
I live.
How do you end up there from India?
I was helped by my brother, saying that I have to grow up and do something for myself to be recognized in this society. And the first thing is to go get the education. And at that time, I'm going back, and at that time we did not hear anything about guns, nothing, nobody carried guns or anything like that. And only people had the guns were military or the police. And it was a very nice time.
You're speaking about America or India?
In India.
Okay.
Very nice time, nobody hurt anybody. We could do anything, whatever, at any time we can do. So there was no guns in there. So after I moved to America from going to school in Montreal.
Oh, you were in Canada?
Yeah, I went to school in Montreal.
Montreal's Canada.
Got my engineering degree from there. Came to Texas, and at that time there was no fear, nothing. You can go anywhere at any time. People were not afraid of going out.
You mean it was pre-terrorist time?
Yeah, pre-terrorist time. And there was nothing such thing as guns and all so forth. There was no mention. There was no murders on the streets, no. And
at least not on the television.
Not there was some on television, but people thought this is nothing, And now the world has changed over time.
It's true.
And it's so much that you are so afraid of going outside at the night.
Well, thank you for sharing this incredible story.
Thank you.
We will move on now to our next subject, because, like I said, we have two guests from the USA, so they can speak from own experience. Plus, they are both from a minority group, so that's always a different experience than if you belong to the majority group, white. The first subject we want to discuss with you is how do you and your family experience the threat? First, before we start the discussion, we want to let our viewers have a look at the small picture about this subject.
Failing to signal a lane change.
Riding in your girlfriend's car with a child in the back.
Run into the bathroom in your own apartment.
Selling cigarettes outside of a corner store.
Riding a commuter train.
Walking home with a friend.
Making eye contact.
Selling CDs outside of a supermarket.
Help after an accident.
Not servile enough.
Go to weareheremovement.com to tell President Obama and Congress that the time for change is now. We demand radical transformation to heal a long history of systemic racism so that all Americans have the equal right to live and to pursue happiness.
A black son and a mixed race son, basically, every time he goes out, I'm nervous.
He drives a car? What's his age?
He's 20.
Okay.
He drives the car. He likes to go to these concerts where the young kids carry guns. So I'm really nervous. I don't sleep. And sometimes I text him while he's in the concert because I'm afraid that I'm going to get a call that he's been killed.
But afraid he's getting killed by other kids and
No,
or the police, or
by
both?
other kids or by the police. I have a friend that's a police officer. Actually, he's higher than a police officer. He's a federal agent. And he spoke to me and told me once, he says nowadays, if the police officer tells you to pull over and you pull over and he yanks you out of the car, I said, but he can't do that. He has no reason. He said, they can do anything they want right now. He yanks you out of the car and throw you to the ground because you did not obey his rules.
Just like that?
Just like that. I said, but that's not right. He says, he does not know who you are, so this is their behavior.
Against everybody or to the minorities?
Against minorities. So if a police officer pulls you over, I'm telling my son, keep your hands on the steering wheel of the car. If the police officer walks up and says, I need your license, say, can I get out and give you my license so that I won't get shot? Because they're assassinating young black men. If you're a police officer and you've got a young black man that's running, why not shoot him in the leg instead of in the back?
That's what we wonder in Europe.
Why can't you just shoot him in the leg?
That's what they usually do in the Netherlands.
And instead of in the back, they're assassinating him. They're
That's a good
assassinating
point.
young boys. They're just killing them as if they were a flea.
Well, may I ask your opinion about, can you also say they approaching young American blacks if it's in a war zone? They consider them like an enemy, like a terrorist?
No, this is what's going on in America. Let's say that a young black man is in a very nice car. I'll give you an example.
Yes,
I
please.
have my he's my brother's son that I've raised, and we lived in Chicago, and I had a really nice car, and he did not tell me at the time. He was 16, and so I would give him my car so he would go out with his friends at night. He did not tell me. Every night the police stopped him and stripped my car down.
Every night.
Every night. For no reason.
Now,
because of the car.
Okay, this thing you mentioned now is also already a little bit happening here in Holland.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit a scandal a couple of weeks ago about a famous DJ. He was also, say, like black. And they stopped him constantly because black, nice car, adds up to criminal.
Right.
So that is not in the proportion as the USA, of course. But even in Holland, this is coming in this mentality. So it's maybe a little bit global.
It's amazing that, for instance, how many young black men are getting shot every day.
Yeah, that's insane. I think the figure is now already like 500.
I mean, every day you hear of a young black man getting shot.
There is as young as one at 7 years.
Exactly.
You know this case?
Yes.
In their bed. I think it was in Chicago. I read about it.
He got shot.
In his bed.
In his bed.
A kid of 11 years old with the water pistol, the toy pistol, remember, in the park?
And they think it's a gun.
Well,
and they shoot
come
him.
on. If it's a white guy, a white kid of 10 years, it's racism.
Yeah, but my whole thing
in my opinion.
Okay, so my whole thing is that President Obama is a very good president, but
I don't agree.
Well,
Well, that's my opinion.
the economy has changed. Let me explain something to you. Since he got elected, every white person, male, has been angry. And they have polarized the country because they cannot believe they have a black man.
Do you
as
think
the
so,
president.
really?
This is the honest truth, and it's made it worse. So they're just assassinating them like they're flies. Think about it. Since he got elected, there's been
I'm
more
not laughing at
violence.
what you're saying, but it's so insane what you are saying.
It's true. Since he got elected, there's more black people getting
Yeah,
killed.
that
black
I
women
noticed.
getting punched. Black
Yes,
women
it's
getting beaten.
that I don't understand.
I mean, what police will stop you because you didn't turn your signal on and throw you to the ground?
Woman or
woman,
yeah, I know.
you know?
I saw it on the
I mean,
YouTube.
for instance,
I
in
must
jail-
tell you, I have lived almost 8 years with my family in California, Miami, and Nevada, Lake Tahoe, and I'm white. And when we got stopped, we were always treated fully respectfully. Middle class car, white. So the story you are telling is such a different story than I experienced in the States. As a white guy, they were always polite to us. I was even 2 years ago with my son on the highway. We were speeding 140, and we get stopped by, and they look and you have a brand new rental car, middle class. We are there for ice hockey, and they're so nice to us, It's so respectful. And then I hear stories like you are telling. It's like living in two planets.
It is
It's
like
the
two
white
planets.
planet and the black planet.
But it is to assassinate you in your back. Why shoot him in his arm? Shoot him in his leg? Why in his back or in the back of his head? Why? I don't understand. So my theory is all of these police officers that are running around being police officers in America have come from Iraq, have come from Afghanistan.
Oh, you have a point.
Have come
That's
from
a
the
point.
military.
You're right.
And they have
Have
mental
post-traumatic
problems, post-traumatic stress, and so they think
You are right.
when they get caught.
That's a very significant point. They are statistic.
Yes.
They come from the army and they go into
think-
police.
Exactly. And when they have a scene, they think they're in Iraq, so they shoot immediately.
You're right.
Okay,
That's
this is the
I didn't
problem.
hear in the media yet.
This is the problem. These are who they're
Very
hiring.
important point. I know that. Now that I know because I know that's a
They
fact.
have it in your country. They have all over Europe.
No, but I know in America they have such a lot in Afghanistan, Iraq, so many wars, and those guys come back and go by the police.
And they go to police. That's
Yes, they hire them.
And they're. I mean, my friend who is a federal
true.
agent, he suffers from.
This is a very significant point you make.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Because my friend.
I never heard it in the mainstream media
You
yet.
will never hear it. My friend who is a federal agent, he suffers from this disorder, and he has a machine gun. And he told me once, I said, they gave you a gun with your with the way you think. This is not normal. This is not. I mean, and these are who's carrying the guns.
That could explain their behavior.
That is why
it's uncontrollable.
They cannot control
It's
it.
uncontrollable.
Right, and they cannot put a statistic on them, and they have mental problems.
No,
So they're
because they shouldn't
veterans.
hire him.
They're veterans. They have to give them a
Yeah.
job to make money. They're the only ones they can give a job like that.
You're
They're
right.
the only
And they
ones-
have the quote-unquote skill,
They have the skill.
weapons and
Weapons.
army training.
For instance, I went on a date with a guy who was an ex-Iraqi soldier, and I had a drink with him. I was talking to him, and I said, "So what do you think?" He said, "I can be president." I said, "Another one," because all white men who are uneducated hate President Obama.
High school
With
dropouts.
high school dropouts or with high school education.
Okay. I know it's probably
And
true.
I really believe that, as Donald Trump said once, we can send them back to Africa.
Save Donald Trump for later.
Okay. No, but look around. Look at what England is doing. Look at what Amsterdam tried to do. They said to stop all the coffee shops,
Yes.
to clean up the city,
Yes.
to get
true.
everyone out, and make
Red light district.
red light district, get rid of it, and to make the cost of
Well,
living so
excuse me.
expensive.
Poor people they are putting out. The rent
Exactly.
is going so high that the normal average Joe
Cannot afford it.
No, he cannot live in
So
Amsterdam.
in Paris, they've stripped the nationalities of the French who were French. So basically, we're going back to an era that Hitler has started. Think about it. Because if you're white, you're okay.
Yeah, I agree on you almost completely, but only I have one problem with your theory. It is all, I think it's right what you're saying, but there is also like what they call the white trash, for example, the white trash people.
I want to talk about that.
Okay. They are in the same ship as the black people.
Wait, but
Poor, no fucking money, excuse me for my language, no education. They called in the academic world the hound people, remember?
Right.
What is it? Humble, honest, old and dumb.
Wait, no, let me explain this. See.
And then you have the Jevis people, you remember this?
I call
young and trafficking, intelligence, white, and money.
Okay.
And the hound people.
So we have, let's split society. We have the homosexuals.
Yes.
The gay and the lesbian.
Yes.
The transgenders.
Yes.
Okay. And we have the poor people. We have the poor black people.
That's way under.
Okay, so yes, so the poor blacks who cannot afford anything, and the white mobile home.
Yes, the
people.
Trailer trash.
Yeah,
no,
I can say that.
With all the respect, sure.
Okay.
It's not a cussing from me.
So the
it's a
trailer
fact.
trash, all of the trailer trash, has now risen higher than the blacks who did have something.
Okay, they are a little higher on the ladder.
No, the governments have said, okay, let's get rid of all the blacks and let's make the trailer trash live a little bit better.
You know the television series in Canada, Trailer Trash?
We have it in America too.
You know what I'm talking about. I think a little funny.
It's different.
They're walking the whole day with drinks in their hands and wheat in the...
So the trailer trash is marrying the trailer trash of the blacks. And they can't have two trash cans together.
Oh, we laugh about, but it's so sad.
I mean,
it's a tragic.
I mean, so they don't want to melt the two trash cans together.
They have to live separate.
They have to separate the trash.
So it's also for
recyclable.
That's what I wanted to say. It's kind of recycling.
If you put the two trash cans together, then those trash cans will have breeding, and that trash can will have breeding. So then you have a different kind of trash.
Mixed trash.
Yes.
Okay, man. I think we have to move on to our.
Am I making sense?
You have no idea. I think you're incredible, and I mean this. We are going to our next subject. We can say, can it be crazier in America and crazier in Amsterdam, Holland? Yes, it can always be crazier, because now we're going to discuss the new law in Texas where they love cowboys, white cowboys. Now the kids who go to college are allowed, can you believe it, to wear guns into the classroom. So if they get a minus, a C minus, they can shoot their teacher.
Texas is the 8th state to allow concealed weapons at public universities, and their law signed last June. Georgia's House Monday passed a similar bill. Manuel Marquez on the Houston campus with how some faculty members are taking precautions. Manuel, good morning.
Good morning. Republican presidential candidates will debate here tonight, but there is already a political discussion underway about the campus carry law. Starting August 1st, if you have the proper permit for a gun, you can bring it with you to class on this 40,000 student campus.
In Texas, guns are common out on the range and in some places out in the open. But professors at the University of Houston are targeting guns on campus, where concealed carry will be allowed later this year.
It's an uncomfortable position to be in, but it's a discussion that faculty need to have.
During a recent University of Houston faculty meeting, staff discussed how to teach when some students could be carrying concealed weapons. Among the suggestions, be careful discussing sensitive topics, remove certain topics from the curriculum, and to not go there if you sense anger.
This was a discussion by faculty for faculty.
Jonathan Snow compiled the guidelines presented at the meeting.
This is the law. It will happen. So what can you do?
There's not very much, and this is precisely what we're talking to faculty about. What they absolutely should not do in the classroom, which is express their displeasure at students bringing guns to class. They have to adapt what they're going to do in the classroom.
But some faculty and students say they must implement sensible guidelines while complying with the new law.
We know that there are concerns about safety on campus, and we're going to do everything that we can to protect the members of our community.
We are students. We are not criminals.
Sophomore Edwin Mascorro is running for student body president.
I do not have my concealed carry license yet.
Will you apply for one?
Yes, sir.
To obtain a handgun license in Texas, applicants must be 21 years old. The initial application fee is $140, and the process requires up to 6 hours of classroom training, a written exam, and shooting test.
It seems like there are many professors who feel they can't have a robust debate on this topic or any other topic in their classrooms.
To say that we're going to snap because we have a debate, no.
How is it possible that kids can take guns to the school? Where is this coming from?
Well, Texas has always been kind of like the Wild Wild West. So they passed a law with open weapons, where you can carry a concealed weapon on you and it can be shown. And they allowed this to happen in universities.
Yeah, that's a new law.
There's a big problem about this, because a lot of the campuses, they cannot carry weapons on private universities. They cannot carry weapons in dormitories. The freshmen cannot. They cannot carry them in the gymnasium.
You mean in a gym where they sport?
Yeah, where they do sports.
Well, it's a little bit strange if you are, in shorts and a gun playing a game. It's maybe even too far for Texas. Bush state is Bush state. Eh?
Right.
Yeah. So, but how is it possible insane lawmakers make a law like that?
Well, you have to understand that the lawmakers are getting money from the gun lobbyists.
Okay, here we go.
And so the gun lobbyist is paying for all the
idiot laws.
Not just idiot laws, they're padding their lawmakers.
Because as you know, in our country, I don't know how it is in India. No, they put the punishments up. Before it was like if they caught you with a gun, you get a slip in the wrist, like 200 fine or a week jail. Now they put it up to 9 months jail, which I think is good. But in America, it's going the other way around again.
Okay, stop. So what I'm trying to say to you is that when a policeman shoots a young black man, they have an honor of code. They don't rat each other out.
Well, they call it an honor of code, but it's actually a code of the mafia. Killing with license.
Exactly.
That's the police. Is it same with the Indian people, by the way, in America? The police treat people from India origin or not really?
Not really.
Why you think is that?
Somehow they are exempt from all these problems because they are not extremely black or extremely white.
Okay.
They're in the middle.
So, but are the people
and
from
also they don't get involved in any kind of violence or anything. They stay away from all that.
But is it maybe so that the people from Indian origin or Chinese or Korean, maybe I don't know if it's because they are not out there in the society, but more keeping to themselves.
They're kind of keep low profile.
Because I probably talk a stereotype, but as you know, I live in America and in Canada for 5 years, and I know as well black people or Indian people, Chinese, but the Indian people, they work their butt off.
Yeah.
And the Koreans, oh my God.
Yeah, they're very hard working.
Yeah, I remember we live in Toronto, and the corner was a Korean family, and they had a little grocery shop. And they were opening from 6 in the morning till 1 in the clock. And there were the mother, the daughter.
The whole family.
Yeah, and they were making homework. So they were, actually, come to think about it, that's my own experience, they work so hard, they have no time to go out of their work.
Yeah.
So they are maybe, they don't have a lot of chance to be shot, actually. I don't know.
But they carry guns in their stores.
Yeah, they do, but in the bad neighborhoods, not in Toronto. Eh?
Yeah, but what's interesting is that, okay, let's say you open up a shop in a bad neighborhood. You're in a poor neighborhood, and you go there and open up a shop.
It's usually a liquor shop.
A liquor shop.
Or the money checks, huh?
Exactly.
That's
change
it.
the money.
Yeah.
And you charge them half of their check.
I know.
You know, so they're not really helping.
I was always astonished if you come to in a ghetto. Every corner has his liquor shop, and you're looking for a supermarket with healthy food. It's not there.
Justice League, Justice League,
Detroit was de bank. Right?
A Pepsi? Yes, you want a medium or large?
Medium.
Medium.
How much is that? It's okay. Leuk is dat, hè?
All right here.
Precies dit, hè? In Detroit. Zal wil je eten? Kijk eens. De camera. Dit is Detroit. Detroit City. Moet je kijken of de kanon niet bij zich heeft.
Yeah, everybody has guns in Detroit.
Nou, you need a gun in Detroit City, yeah?
Yeah, well, not really. I believe the height.
What kind of caliber is it? Big one, huh?
Yeah, it's a 357.
357 Magnum? No.
Yeah.
We in Europe can also not really understand how a guy like Donald Trump, in my opinion, is completely insane. I'm not kidding. Is 100% racist, homophobe, hater of women. Even his hair is an idiot, literally. And no offense, I'm very proud of her that she got so far. Has a first lady in future, in storage, who is, no offense, and I'm proud she got so far, is 100% a prostitute, a higher end prostitute, and I'm very proud of her that she got so far to get this one big customer. No, I'm not kidding, but what is going on? The only thing I could think about, which is a little bit similar, because we in Europe are not that much better than the USA, is maybe you remember Berlusconi in Italy.
Yeah, but
well, is also a 70-year-old imbecile who is punching ladies in the butt and bringing presents to a 14-year-old child, which is almost a pedophile.
Exactly.
Yeah, by law, was also 8 years the president of Italy. So in that matter, then I think, Berlusconi is, but even Trump, I think, is more crazy. Racist, Mexicans, rapist, woman. What is going on in the States?
With Trump?
Yeah, how come a guy like Trump can maybe become your president?
First of all, the U.S. is polarized with poor white trash. The television programs are about trash.
You mean it's trash for trash?
It's trash for trash.
Brainwashing.
Brainwashing. So basically on the television...
Excuse me, same in Holland.
So basically, I'm going to go with some stories and then go into Trump. Bruce Jenner, who is now 65 years old, decided he wanted to be a woman.
Transgender.
He wanted, a woman.
Oh, a woman is not transgender. Eh?
Well, he doesn't know what he is. And I said to myself, what the hell is wrong with him? Men don't want real women at 65. So why would they want a transgender at 65?
Well, you never know.
But
maybe for Berlusconi.
But the big thing is that he still likes women.
And he want to become
he's a lesbian.
Okay, lesbian man.
Yes, which is kind of strange.
Yeah.
So, to go on with this, this is trash television.
Yeah, the television is
the
brain
internet
damaging.
Is trash. So everybody wants to be a star, and Trump got
trash star.
The trash star. Look at the Kardashians. Everybody's injecting their bottoms to make them look like balloons.
But again, same in Holland. Eh?
I said to myself when I walked in America, how is it possible all these women asses look the same? this is not possible. What happened? What are they eating? You know, that's what I said, to be honest.
They're pumped up.
And they're pumped up.
Pump asses. Pump asses.
Yes.
Is that for the rating? For the higher rating?
It's for the higher rating.
So pump ass, better rating.
Better rating, exactly. So, pump ass, fish lips is better ratings. Okay. So, you know, you see a woman who looked like she just got out of the fish pool with the lips.
She looked like Donald Duck.
Yes.
So
exactly. And
hippo ass, Donald Duck mouth,
exactly.
Better ratings.
Better ratings and skin cat. You know, when they get the facelift, they all skin.
Look like the Walking Dead skin.
Exactly.
But why is that? How
because
what happened?
Popular.
What happened?
Because
are the people insane? And
they're going crazy. So now Donald Trump comes up.
Looks like an idiot. Speaks like an idiot.
Well, actually,
walks like an idiot.
All you have to do is put a fan in front of him, and his hair, his hay will fly up.
What? Well, how old is he actually? 70 or something?
Maybe 70.
Maybe 73, 74. And so he's old.
Yeah. Old.
Okay. And so with Donald Trump, for instance, he's catering to the poor white trash.
Television.
All the poor white, he's catering to, they said something.
Jerry Springer, actually. Jerry Springer.
Than Jerry Springer.
Worse, yeah, you're
Springer.
right.
He's catering to the hill country, the rednecks,
the hillbillies,
clans, the all racist haters.
But okay, let me be the little argument against on behalf of those guys. Is it also maybe a factor that since 2008 the bank gangsters robbed, say, the whole country and actually the whole world, that there is also now a feeding ground because the people has no money, nothing, no future, no job, no education. That's for the underclass. It's gone.
I want to talk to you about that.
You understand? So they're really into this kind of, well, actually go back to the 40s again.
Right. Okay.
Hitler came big up because the Weimar Republic was a big crisis. People had no future, no hope. So had that something to do also that they're getting insane or something?
Okay, so I want to talk I really wanted to bring that up. So basically, a lot of people played the stock market. A lot of people, unscrupulous people, sold people homes that they could not afford.
The mortgage,
they could not make
bubble.
And the mortgage broke.
Gold in a sex crime group.
And then they lost everything. So these people who lost all their money, everything is mad.
Yes, they are mad.
So in America, there is no shame.
It's
now.
dog eat dog.
It's dog eat dog and cat. They're eating anything.
At each other.
Yeah, at each other.
Oh my God!
There's no discrimination.
It's like a war zone.
It's a war zone because the middle class in America is going down.
Yeah, because also I read somewhere now that 60 million Americans are on food stamps.
Yes.
60 millions. But again, in Holland, 2.5 million people in Holland are living under the poverty rate.
But you don't
in
have
Holland,
homeless like you do in America.
We have not that big, of course, but we have homeless. But I agree with you because when I first time came back in America to live there, I was shocked how many normal families. You expect the junkies, the alcoholics, the mental sick people who should have been helped, by the way.
Exactly.
They live on the corner.
Right.
But also I saw whole normal families with kids, with science, food.
Right.
And I was shocked.
And you give.
But it's getting here in Europe. In Europe, I want to give you also something back to take back to the States. The official rate of people who are living in poverty in the Europe, in the EU, is 50 million. Wow. So 50 million in Europe is 60 million. And I call that globalization of the poverty.
Exactly. But
and somebody has to get the blame for that.
The blame is that, okay...
The new Jew.
The blame for that is that...
That's you.
So Donald Trump right now is catering. There are some things that are going to come out about him. His wife...
Which one? He had about 20 wives, not?
Well, no, he's had 3.
Yeah.
He had the American
Officially.
Oh, okay, officially.
I hear one time he had 20 wives in one night.
Oh,
he was in a sex house.
I don't think he can do that much.
Now, before. Well, his new wife is pretty, like
Well,
she has the butt, she has the lips. What you were talking before,
yeah, she has, yeah.
all the artificial parts,
Exactly, but
the tits.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, they can't use them.
the average Joe say he has a nice wife.
People, and so Trump is not fit to be president of the United States. Now, if you have any common sense, and you are a U.S. president, you would never say Putin was great.
He's like a mob boss too.
But
Putin.
Putin is worse than a mob boss. It's one step from
But
being
on the other hand,
a cartel.
Putin, yeah, of course, I agree he's like a mob boss, but in my book, they're all mob boss. By the way, what do you thought about Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders.
Before you start, I'm a great admirer of him.
I like him too. Bernie
Grassroots movement,
yeah,
grandpa.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
But he did not get the Jews on board.
But in the positive way or the negative way?
In any way.
But then you're saying they run the show by the Democrats.
The Jews
the
run
money.
the show.
Okay.
Okay. He didn't. The Jews would not vote for him, and that was his problem. And he's Jewish.
Yeah, you can see how he talks. I like
Yeah,
the old-fashioned Jew.
Yeah, but they if he had gotten them aboard, he probably would have.
But that means Hillary got the Jews on board.
She got more than the Jews. I mean,
The corporate crime. Corporate crime.
Yeah, a lot of women don't like her because she didn't leave Bill Clinton.
Excuse me, I am not a woman. I don't like her either.
Why?
Well, I think I don't want to use Donald Trump, his qualification for he calls her crooked Hillary. I call her war Mongol Hillary Clinton. Okay. I think she is from a dynasty with her husband, with her foundation, and her background, like Libya, which was destroyed. There is too much baggage. I think she's anyway. I think to make it's not the subject in this program. It's maybe too long. I think she's really extremely corrupt.
Well, all politicians are corrupt.
Yeah, but Bernie was the lessest, in my opinion. But I thought he was maybe a little bit a new Roosevelt, the New Deal. America, in my opinion, and Europe, needs a real politician like Roosevelt, which I admire. He came with the New Deal after the crisis in the 20s. Of course, all politicians are not 100% okay, but there are worse cases, in my opinion, than other ones. I thought Bernie Sanders was truly honest at some points. It could make a difference for America and the world. Listen, according to the time, I enjoy very much the conversation and I learn a lot. But I really must ask you to quit this program. Bob Marley, please tell me.
I traveled with Bob Marley back in the 70s. Went all over the U.S. with him. And got to know him very well, got to listen to them make songs. They would hear an air conditioner and they would do a beat.
How old were you then?
18.
18?
Yeah.
How did you meet him the first time?
I met him in a restaurant. Well, it wasn't a restaurant. It was a little club down Lower Greenville in Dallas, Texas, where they had all the hip things, where all the hippies hang out.
Mystic time.
Yeah.
So you see him perform live in a little bar?
I traveled with him on the bus. I saw him perform live in a little.
Can you tell me what he said to you? A couple of things, just from person to person, from what he said or from his mouth.
Okay, I had shaved my head completely bald.
You were sexy that time?
I was really skinny.
Okay.
Okay, and he said, "Hey, red girl." He called me red girl.
Oh, nice.
Hey, red girl, like to shine. He was talking about my head, and then he walked up and he said, "It's not normal that a woman shaves her head at this age." I said, "Well, I'm a little bit different." I said, so he said, "Okay, you want to have a spliff?" I said, "Sure."
The split is this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
For the watchers.
Yeah. So we had
the slang.
We had a spliff. So then.
Ganja.
Ganja.
Yeah, ganja.
Yeah. And so.
The Rastafas.
Yeah, the Rasta. Yeah. So then we smoked, and then they said, "Come on, go with us." So we went out that night, and I was amazed at the groupies.
Yeah.
That's what really...
Countless, I guess. Countless.
Oh,
yeah.
That's countless.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because after they finished singing, all they want to do is eat and relax.
And smoke.
And smoke. he didn't drink, and so I said, he said, so what do you, I said, look, I can prepare your food. You're an idol, which means vegetarian. So I prepared all.
He was
the food.
vegetarian, 100%?
100%.
Also no fish?
No fish, 100%.
He was a principled man, huh?
Yeah, he was 100%.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah, he his Exodus he wrote while he was in the bus. I mean, he was
spiritual leader, huh?
What I learned from him was the spiritual.
Yeah,
part.
I believe you.
Reading, Renaissance.
You know what? I must tell you. I remember now. We had one time we had a happy family. We had a coffee shop chain, and our standard music every day stand up, and everybody was singing, smoking. He has such a great influence on.
It's.
And Peter Tosh too, eh? This one famous number. He had one number, remember? One number hit so great, Peter Tosh.
Peter Tosh had, what's the name of it?
Yeah, he sung it with the way. He did it with Bob Marley together. Or his son, I forgot.
Bob, he did it with Bob.
Yes, once.
He was with Bob at first.
Yes.
Bunny Wailer also.
Yes.
Okay, the Wailers, all of the Wailers were with Bob. And Rita. What is that song? Bush Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the song Bush Doctor.
But he had some great classics. Which you thought his best number, or one of his best?
No Woman No Cry.
Oh, that's He's every day in the Happy Family, every day. But he is still an icon by the youth nowadays.
Yeah,
huh?
he is. He's known all over the world.
He's actually growing still, even in China.
Yeah, he's known all over the world.
I read somewhere in China he's really popular now.
Singapore.
Yes.
Everyone knows him.
Well, that's a guy we need as president.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Well, he got Marcus Garvey and one of the other prime ministers of Jamaica going together.
He did?
To make peace, yes. He was, he didn't believe in doctors, and that was the big.
That's why he died at the end. It's cancer. Yeah, they could have saved him, but he was a real principal. I know that. I read. Incredible that you were 6 months I hear with him on the road.
Yeah, I was with him on the road, in the bus.
Incredible. You should write a book about that. My 6 months with Bob Marley. I would buy it. I would buy it.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing because of the food and stuff. And when they would do the concerts, sometimes, if the promoter didn't have their money straight, they wouldn't do a show.
They were principal, huh?
And then sometimes, when you're sitting waiting for a reggae show and it takes a long time, it's because the promoter hasn't come up with the money.
You just don't go out there? He was principal.
Yeah.
I also read about him. In the beginning, they were boycotting him to play his songs in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Then his friends went by the DJs and made him play his song.
But Bob is half white.
Is he half white? Well, you wouldn't notice. It wouldn't help him if he would be stopped in America in a car. He looked too black.
He's too. If they had stopped Bob in the car, the way Bob would talk to them, they wouldn't go.
Probably. Yeah, but because he has something.
Because he was a prophet.
Yeah, he was a prophet. And excuse me, I think this is a good moment to stop. Don't forget, Bob Marley is still a prophet. Anyway, for me.
Black lives matter all over the world, like all lives matter all over the world. Please stop killing our youth.
En dat vind ik ook een goede quote om mee te stoppen. En dat wil ik er nog aan toevoegen. Helemaal mee eens, maar het geldt voor ook alle armen in de wereld. Volgende week, fasten your seatbelts kijkers, ja, hebben ook wij het monster Holleeder hier. Maar bij ons gaat het niet zozeer over het monster Holleeder, maar over de monsters, de zogenaamde misdaadjournalisten, die Willem Holleeder ten gelde maken en uitbuiten als het zogenaamde monster. Tot volgende week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
De stem van de straat.
Iedereen moet aan het woord komen. De uitzending zou dan vrijdag zijn.
Of donderdag. Dit is dus de stem van de straat, dus de voeten uit. 2 mensen komen aan het woord en die zijn het nu al niet met elkaar eens.
Ik ken niet meer. Ik ken niet meer.
Kijk, daar is de nummer 1.
Schaf de BTW af.
Nee.